Hello everybody and welcome back to another Figurehead Reviews video, and today we are taking a look at the DC Multiverse spoiler from the Lex Luthor Collect and Connect series. Here we have spoiler displayed in the front window along with the alternate CnC head that we have for Lex Luthor. We get some very cool artwork of spoiler on the front. We get the DC logo there at the top along with the CnC Lex Luthor name. We get some more artwork on both sides as well as on the back. We have all the other figures needed in this wave to not only build the base Lex Luthor figure, but also to build the alternate Lex Luthor with the dark side ruler of apocalypse head that he has. But you will notice there is Simon Baz on this list. That figure, to my knowledge, was unfortunately never released, and that makes me very sad. But up here at the top, we do have the read-up. Recruited by Batwoman into boot camp, the Violet Vindicator joins forces with the top heroes in Gotham City. And then down here, we do have the UPC code, so you can check with your local retailer. And actually, this was a Walmart exclusive that I believe is already gone, so you're probably going to have to check online for her. But anyway, let's go ahead and get this open and take a look at spoiler. And here is spoiler outside of her packaging, and actually first impressions on this figure aren't too bad. Like many figures in this wave, I've actually been able to get some decent poses out of them, which is just so refreshing in a multiverse wave, so I'm really happy about that. This figure, when standing straight up, comes in right at about the 6-inch mark, which puts her at about 15.2 centimeters. She does come with the accessory you see in her hand there, her weapon, as well as this alternate Lex Luthor Collect and Connect piece for the Ruler of Apocalypse head that he had there in one of his storylines. So we'll look at that when we actually build the Luthor Collect and Connect. But let's go ahead first and take a look at that weapon, and then we'll get a better look at spoiler. So taking a look at Spoiler's weapon up close, I forget what you call this, but essentially you got the stick there with the chains, and then you can spin it around and all sorts of good stuff. I feel like I've seen Ninja Turtles use this before, but it's, molded in the black plastic, and then the chains are done with the silver paint here, and the chains actually look decently sculpted, and they are somewhat flexible. I would be nervous to do it too much, though, because I feel like eventually, if you just stress them back and forth too much, they are going to break. So, yeah, that might just be cautious on my part, but I think it's something worth noting. Oh, made in China. It's not a Mattel product if they don't have made in China in the most conspicuous places. And then you do have just some basic gripping hands that can hold it really at any point. So whether you wanted to have it how I had it earlier, holding on to the two ends, if you wanted to try to have her holding on in the middle, either hand is going to be able to hold that just fine. So, but yeah, let's go ahead and take a look now at spoiler. And getting up close here, we can see a pretty interesting design there in the mask. Instead of just having a mouth with the painted black, they did actually sculpt it to look like fabric. So that is really cool that they went through that trouble to not have... it would have looked really weird, but I don't know, for some reason I almost would have expected Mattel to just do something like painting a regular face sculpt with just black material and call it a mask. So I am happy to see that. You can see that her hair actually sticks out all the way around, and then we get that blonde paint there. So, that comes out on the hood, unfortunately. So, that's there. But the hood is actually sculpted pretty well. You got some good fabric wrinkles and things like that. So I like that. Her cape, you can see, goes on, and it is glued on in the back here. Actually, it looks like my glue might have come out. It's supposed to be glued, but actually, that's probably maybe a benefit. I can get some better cape poses out of it. We get good-looking body sculpt throughout the rest of it, though. You get a soft material here, but it feels like that might be glued on as well. So it doesn't get in the way too much, but... yeah, decent looking pouches and things like that. The purple paintwork looks okay on the side there, but man, we get where the torso connects. Yeah, that's a bummer there. And then we can see the arms, the hands actually, I don't know what it is about the hands. I feel like there's just not a lot of detail in the sculpt work. And this one, it looks like, I don't know, maybe they overpainted or something. It feels very nubby, like... that's got to be that hand. I don't know. Maybe not. But yeah, it just feels like she's got very short fingers. That's just looks weird to me. I don't know. We can see that we have the old style hinge there for the legs, but oh well, it kind of works. But going down again, the purple looks good. Boots look good, so not a ton of paint apps there, and overall it doesn't look too bad. Looking at the articulation, you have a head that can go all the way around. The hair doesn't get in the way, but we can't look down or up really at all. You have arms that can come up all the way. You get full rotation on the arms. You do have a bicep swivel there. You have a single jointed elbow with rotation at the elbow, and then you do have rotation and hinge on both of her stubby little hands. She does have a diaphragm joint, but oops, there we go. And I don't know, it doesn't have much range of motion though. Doesn't really look down, doesn't really look back, so just kind of a bit of a wobble there. Looks like she does have a waist rotation though, unlike Vixen or even Wonder Woman, so that's kind of cool. The legs do come apart a pretty good amount. She can kick forward, not bad. She can kick backwards, no, not at all. You have upper thigh cut, single jointed knee, and then you do have a hinge and ankle pivot though, so a little bit of mix of old and new articulation with this one. And here we have Spoiler next to some of her Rebirth Detective Comics counterparts. We have Clayface and Batwoman, and man, I really wish Mattel had been able to get us a Red Robin and Orphan figure so that we could have had the entire Detective Comics lineup, but oh well. And finally, we have all the figures in this wave. We have the Gotham by Gaslight Batman, the two exclusives, Spoiler and Harley, the Collect and Connect figure, Lex Luthor, the two JLA members, the Ray and Vixen, and the Rebirth Wonder Woman. And that about does it for this review, everyone. And overall, I really like what Mattel was going for with the Rebirth Detective Comics line figures that we were getting. So we had Batwoman already. We had the Clayface Build-A-Figure, and then we had Spoiler here. It would have been really cool to eventually have gotten a Red Robin and Orphan figure, and maybe even an Azrael figure. And actually, now that I think of it, we got a Batwing figure too. So, we were really setting up for something cool, but with the license ending for Mattel here, it just doesn't look like that's going to be a thing that they're going to really bother doing. I think there's a proposed wave of figures that I've seen, the Batman Ninja Multiverse, but I haven't heard much about it. But anyway, that's a topic for a different time. Overall, pretty basic figure, nothing too crazy going on with her. I just think it is a cool addition to, again, that Rebirth setup. But with that being said, as I mentioned, that is it for the review. So if you like this review, make sure to hit that like button. For more content just like this, make sure to subscribe. And as always, thanks for stopping by and have a great day.